You are now in tune with
Mamba Radio.
Alright, what up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into Brown Mamba Radio. For those out there who don't know, my name is Jackson, and happy Aloha Friday. We finally made it. It felt like it was a really, really long week, at least for me. I felt like it was a really long week, but the week is finally here. Happy Rusev Day to everybody. Hopefully, you guys all enjoyed your week. There's not a whole lot of stuff going on this week as far as breaking stuff down or anything. It's just more kind of news based today. That's like I said, it's just not a whole lot of sports going on. It's a whole lot of a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I'm gonna try to keep this one short and sweet today, for real this time. I've getting a late start today. And I gotta make my tea time in a couple hours. So like I said, I'm trying to knock this one out and everything. So, but just gonna go through a lot of the stuff that went happen this week. And starting off with the huge Woj bomb, first one of the summer. Technically, it was a combination bomb, I guess you want to call it. But involving Kawhi Leonard. First reported by Shams. Shout out to Shams over at Yahoo and Chris Haynes at ESPN. They first reported that Kawhi Leonard is saying that he wants out of San Antonio, and then Woj bombed everyone, piggybacking off that, saying that the Lakers are his number one choice. And like I said, it's kind of a Woj bomb, but kind of not at the same time. Just because we all kind of speculated this, or everyone kind of speculated that's kind of what was going on. But this just kind of just confirms what we already kind of knew. Like I said, that's all we're hearing so far. Of course, every other team is coming out. Obviously, once they hear about this, now is rolling in that the Spurs are going to do what they can to try to keep him. The Celtics might want to make an offer at him. I think they said somewhere that the Pacers are trying to do something because Pacers have a lot of cap room, but so it's gonna be crazy. Like I said, this is the first real big free agency, or in Kawhi's case, pre-agency. Shout out to Bill and Jalen. The pre-agency Woj bomb or big news of the summer so far. The only thing, like I said, since it's a pre-agency thing, if I was the Lakers, I'd be kind of hesitant right now, because if that's his case, I don't know how it doesn't. There's no timetable for when Kawhi wants to leave. Really, it's just saying that he wants out. Because with Kawhi's situation, since he's not a free agent this summer but next summer, if the Lakers want him, they have to trade for him. So like I said, that means they'd obviously have to give somebody up, whether it's Ingram or Kuzma or Lonzo or whoever. Like I said, you have to trade him. And like I said, if I was the Lakers, I would try to see if they could just ride it out or something, so they don't have to give anybody up. But we'll have to wait and see. Like I said, that's literally all we have so far is that Kawhi wants out. And like I said, this is huge news just because it sets everything up for, or potentially can set everything up for what's going to happen next. There's obviously the LeBron news, which is kind of like we're a little bit of a segue or transition, because the LeBron to LA rumors have started to heat up this week as well. Obviously, it's LA is the number one choice, or at least is the number one speculation for where LeBron's going to go. It's between LA and Cleveland. There's all the stuff with LeBron wants to start that, has that media company. He wants to become bigger than basketball with, like I said, that media company, that production company, to get involved in Hollywood and documentary making and stuff like that. He's already got Clutch Sports, a sports agency. He can run it through LA with Maverick Carter. And like I said, he's closer to Magic Johnson. He can learn from Magic Johnson. the guy, like I said, Magic Johnson, who arguably is one of the most successful NBA players on and off the court for a lot of other reasons as well. But, like I said, as far as like just being the business mogul that Magic Johnson has become, like I said, why wouldn't LeBron want to be as close to that as possible and maybe get some of that juju by osmosis? You know what I mean? So, like I said, that's like the big rumor as far as that's going. But like I said, they heated up this week because of all the rumors about LeBron's son and where he's going to go to high school. It was first speculated, or this big rumor. The big rumor is that LeBron's son is going, LeBron Jr. Is going to enroll at Sierra Canyon High School, which is here in LA, but not specifically like LA, but it's in the Valley, which is LA County. You know what I mean? Greater LA County. It's in the Valley, San Fernando Valley, I believe. And first of all, it's a powerhouse school. They have some of the top guys, some of the top high school, younger high school recruits. Like a Cassius Stanley goes there. I think Scottie Pippen's son goes there. I think Gary Payton's other son is going to be going there. And like I said, LeBron's son is going to be enrolling. That's the rumors that he's going to be enrolling there. And like I said, Gary Payton just dropped that in this little interview, this random interview he did. And it started just picking up steam very obviously. And it was going through like, all the different NBA dirt sheets and rumor mills and all that stuff. But then it came out like LeBron himself said like, no, that's not the case right now. He's still deciding where he wants to go to high school, blah, 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 all this stuff. But then later on in the week, a couple of days later, it was reaffirmed by Gary Kester on Twitter. Now, if you aren't familiar with who Gary Kester is, he is, a very reliable source. He is one of the co-founders of the Laker Outsider page, and he does a lot of stuff with, like I said, so he's a very trusted source amongst Laker Twitter, Laker Reddit, Laker, just the Laker, Laker Twitter, essentially, whatever. So he's a very trusted source, and like I said, he's the type of guy where if this had any legitimacy, I really don't believe that Gary Kester would put this out. Like I said, he's a trusted source. He's a guy that a lot of people, and then that's the thing that when it came out, when he retweeted that, or he tweeted that out, that he's also hearing that same rumor, a lot of people were just saying, listen. So the same thing I'm saying. They're saying that he wouldn't say something like this if there wasn't any kind of legitimacy behind it. So, like I said, it's all still speculation. We haven't heard anything for official or for sure yet. So we'll have to wait and see with how that goes. But like I said, it kind of piggybacks off of the whole, what's going to happen in LA. Was Kawhi coming here? Is Kawhi coming? Is LeBron coming? And then all of this has also been spurred on by Jeannie Buss's tweet that she had. And let me pull up the tweet specifically. So, where is it? Okay, so Jeannie Buss on June 13th, so 2 days ago, just randomly tweeted out, kind of in a cryptically, all she said was, "Do not ever underestimate. ... So ellipses. Nothing else to say." So, like I said, that added a lot to it. Where it's like, hey man, what's going on here? What's gonna happen here? What does that mean? Everyone's looking into it, and then of course, the LeBron news dropped this morning, or excuse me, the Kawhi news dropped this morning. So a lot of people are talking about it. You look at one of the most of the trending topics. Kawhi's in there, the Lakers are in there, Ingram's in there now because, like I said, if he is he going to get traded and stuff like that. So, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a crazy next few days, next few weeks, and just crazy ass summer. And like I said, I didn't expect it to get started so soon. But listen, man, NBA. 20 or 24-hour sport, 12-month-a-year sport, and basketball just never stops. And speaking of just finishing off with basketball-ish, kind of, we had the Warriors parade was also this week, which was both crazy, fun, and also kind of awkward. Nick Young, Jordan Bell, JaVale McGee, a lot of the guys who hadn't won it before brought a lot of great energy, you know what I mean? I made a little shameless plug. I made a little celebration montage video. It's available. Check it out on the Twitter if you want to get a quick little laugh at all the stuff and all the little shenanigans that Nick Young got into. But it was also just felt like the energy wasn't all there. Like, I didn't watch the whole thing. But just seeing, like, the highlights, you can see, like, Steph was just kind of, like, they're going through the motions now with this and stuff. And, like I said, the energy just felt like it wasn't all there. Draymond was still drunk talking shit. That shit was actually really funny. What he said about Tristan Thompson, that was really funny. But then it all kind of was encapsulated by that awkward joke that I think it was Bob Myers said to KD on stage about, like, they asked, like, KD about what his future plans are, and then he's like, oh, we'll see. And then KD, and then the owner pretty much said, like, he's like, I'm willing to do what it takes to get here. And he was saying something along the lines of, well, you won't get any, pretty much saying, like, push up to shove, we'll trade you, kind of thing. Or it's like, you're not, like, one of the guys, and it's kind of fucking weird. It was just awkward, very awkward. But the same can't be said about the Capitals parade, because the Washington Capitals celebrated their Stanley Cup win this week as well. Their parade just was all the way turned up, super fun. Everything was great. The entire city of DC and in Washington was out. The DMV was out just to celebrate. Like I said, they waited a very, very, very long time for that championship. And all the players were partying hard. Ovechkin was living his best life with the cup. But everybody was just, having a great time, and that's how a parade should be. That's how a parade should feel. So like I said, a lot of fun with that. With those, and then finally with the NBA, some new coaches, in Detroit and Toronto. Detroit signed Dwayne Casey, to the 5-year deal. There was a lot of speculation on where he was going to go. They thought he was going to go here, there, wherever, but he ended up in Detroit, replacing Stan Van Gundy, and he's got some work to do there. There's definitely a lot of work to be done in Detroit. A lot of pieces to work with, but like I said, still just a lot of work to do. Work needs to be done, and we'll see if he can do it with them. You know what I mean? Blake Griffin's there. Who knows how long he'll be there for? Andre Drummond's there. He's a good, potentially good player. Stanley Johnson. What's his name? The point guard. Reggie Jackson. Excuse me, Reggie Jackson. I almost called him Reggie something else. Reggie Jackson's there. Like I said, they got some pieces to work with. Not sure. Like I said, we'll have to wait and see. But at the same time, Dwayne Casey's a good coach. So if anyone can get it done, it's potentially him. I don't know how far he can take this team. And besides, who knows who he's going to stay? He might even just completely overhaul this team and trade everybody off. Who knows? But we'll see. I don't know. I know he got a big deal as far as, like, money goes. I just don't know if he got the whole as much power in the front office type thing that Stan Van Gundy had. So like I said, I haven't seen any details with that. So like I said, that'll be yet to be seen. Then in Toronto, where Dwayne Casey was let go from, they just promoted their assistant coach, Nick Nurse. And just from an outsider's perspective, it just really seemed like they didn't really have a plan for after Dwayne Casey, or it felt like they just figured, we can just get rid of Dwayne Casey. We'll have people want to come coach us, like they'll want to come coach with us. We have all these. We did this, we did that. We're the number 1 seed this year. We got DeMar, we got Kyle Lowry, we got this, we got that. It's the 6. We got Drake, all that stuff. And it felt like they were relying on that, and they oversold themselves. Because when Budenholzer didn't want to come there. Who else didn't want to go there? A couple other coaches just didn't really want to go there, and then they were like, it felt like once that happened, they're like, oh shit, we kind of, went all in on ourselves and kind of, shit the bed, and so that's why they did. And then they had to hire from within. They promoted again, like I said, the assistant coach Nick Nurse, who, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know much about him. But from what I've read, from what I've seen, from what I've heard on podcasts, people talking about him, stuff like that, it seems like he's a good coach. He's from what I understand, he's more offensive minded than Dwayne Casey was, and he's been trying to change the Raptors' offense and offensive philosophy for like the last few years, and slowly was able to get little by little, like little changes, like shooting more threes, doing a little bit more stuff like that, like trying to cut down the twos. You know what I mean, like modern NBA stuff. But wasn't able to get all of it, and like I said, little by little was able to implement some changes, and like I said, little by little the Raptors got better. So I don't know, is it Dwayne Casey, was it Nick Nurse, who knows? But now we'll get to see, and now he's probably going to be able to unleash whatever offense that he's been trying to do, because it seems like they're just essentially going to run this team back, as far as the players on the court go. So like I said, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe they're going to try to get DeMar DeRozan to shoot some more threes. They'll work on some other stuff. I'm not 100% sure, but like I said, it looks like they're going to try to look for a more modern, quote unquote, offense from the Raptors, who didn't really, like I said, who it worked for them. Oh yeah, excuse me, it worked for them, but like I said, they did take a lot of twos. DeMar, that's DeMar's game. We get that, but like I said, it's just, we're gonna have to wait and see. And then like I said, it's the NBA, man, just never stops. It really doesn't stop. It really doesn't. But that's all the NBA news for so far, at least for this week. Moving on to baseball, Dodgers and Angels, completely different two tales of the tape on this one. The Dodgers just continuing their hot streak, playing very well. They swept. I don't know. They went back to back against the Rangers. They beat the Rangers. Did their thing. Played very well. 12-5 in the first game, and then 3-2 again. In the crazy game with the Matt Kemp situation. And we'll have to. Like I said, I haven't really seen anything come down from that yet. But that was a very tough situation as far as how to judge it. As far as with the collision, because there's cases for both teams. Like there's a case in favor of the Rangers, there's a case in favor of the Dodgers, as far as how that play went. So like I said, I'm interested to see how they rule that, because it is the collision rulings are very kind of vague and not like they're not well written, but just it's very vague, and kind of like a situation like that is up to determination. I wouldn't be surprised if they say nothing happens between them because it's because of the situation, but they just kind of let them go both ways. They figure it out, and then they move on from there. So yeah, there was that. They're continuing their hot streak. Hopefully, they can continue the hot streak against the Giants this weekend. The yucky Giants. It'd be good. It'd be some good wins for them to have under their belt. Again, especially since it's in the division, so the games count even more in these next three games. Like, so hopefully, they can continue their hot streak and get a sweep against the evil Giants. But like I said, the same can't be said for the Angels. They got swept by the Mariners, the red hot Mariners, by the way. Who I don't want to say Cinderella story of the MLB so far, but definitely the most surprising. Success story so far this year with the Mariners, but they've been playing their asses off all year long. And like I said, they let the Angels have it. They swept them 3-0. It's like I said, tough news for the Angels with the Ohtani stuff. But Trout staying hot, which is great for them, great sign. But like I said, he just needs some more help from somewhere else. They're losing Ohtani. They lost the power in their bat. Like I said, Trout is on pace to set a bunch of records and have the most home runs I think he's ever had in his career. But like I said, there's not a whole lot of power coming from anyone else, and it's tough. And it looks. Hopefully, it doesn't look like another typical Angels season where Trout is just dominating everything and putting up all these amazing numbers on an average, below average team. So, like I said, especially considering the start that the Angels had to begin the season. But like I said, hopefully they can turn it around and bounce back. They got another series against the A's. If there's a team that's playing as poorly as the Angels are in the AL West, it's the A's. They're on the road, but hopefully, like I said, they can get some wins to help build some momentum. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what the Angels do going forward, especially since since it's like I said, it's all up to them. It's all up to them on what they do with Otani, and it's like, and if he does need Tommy John, as much as that sucks, but it's just like, just get it over with. Just get it over with. Take care of it. Just knock it out and let it. You know what I mean? Stop wasting time. Just get him back on the field as soon as possible. So that's my 2 cents on it. As much as it sucks, but yeah, that's how baseball goes quickly. No real NFL news. Just more training camp stuff and stuff like that. Some people are saying, but nothing too crazy yet. It's not or it's mandatory workouts and stuff like that. It's not officially training camp yet. But like, all I gotta say is just pay these guys, man. I still haven't seen any deals done yet. Just pay these fucking guys. It's not that hard. Then lastly, rounding up with WWE or wrestling. So Money in the Bank is finally this weekend. Raw and SmackDown were actually pretty good on the go-home shows. They had some good matches to help get us excited for Money in the Bank. But a special shout out to that women's Fatal 5-Way match on Raw. That was a really, really, really good match. I don't know who's gonna win coming out of it, but it was just a good solid match for the most part, and it'll set things up. I really don't know who's gonna win. I mean, I'm quickly gonna go through the card because, like I said, I'm already starting to kind of run a little bit longer than I wanted to. But quickly, just running through the card on Money in the Bank, seeing what I think. Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. I'm pretty sure Daniel Bryan's gonna win, and please get his second win over Big Cass and end this feud. That's the theme for Money in the Bank. Is just, can we please end these feuds? Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. Daniel Bryan, please end this feud. Seth Rollins versus Elias in a Spider-Man meme match where it's battle of long, wet hair and beards. So it's just, I think Seth Rollins, keep the belt on Seth Rollins. They're putting Elias in this match just so that they can get him on the card because he has so much heat. Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn. Give Bobby Lashley, of course, is going to win. Please just let it be a glorified squash match, so we can and then have this feud be over with. Bludgeon Brothers versus Gallows and Anderson. Bludgeon Brothers are probably going to win. Whatever. Like I said, they just need to stop fucking around with Gallows and Anderson and put them back on Raw. Put Balor and make a Balor club and just let them run wild and stuff and let them be super crazy heels. They can just do that. Where is it? Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal. I really don't give a shit. No one gives a shit about this match. You know what I mean? Roman Reigns is probably gonna win, but then I don't know. I don't really care. Roman Reigns, championship or the SmackDown Women's Championship, Carmella versus Asuka. Please, for the love of God, do not let Carmella beat Asuka. She already beat Charlotte. Do not let her beat Asuka. That is so dumb. Unless it happens like via shenanigans. There's rumors that James Ellsworth is going to come back. Whether he gets involved in this match or he gets involved in the actual Money in the Bank ladder match, who knows? Yeah, just please, for the love of God, do not let Carmella win unless it's by the most shenaniganese of shenanigans. And then on the Raw side of things, I already pitched what I think should happen. I don't think that's going to happen. Where the match ends via like DQ, so Nia keeps the belt, but then it's like they get attacked by like the Riot Squad together, so that way they have to team up and defeat them, and then eventually like they put their differences aside to deal with this bigger evil, and then later on Ronda Rousey gets her rematch or whatever. But this whole feud is bad and weird and poorly booked, and so I don't really care either about this, and then just that's the story of WWE, man. They brought in all these big names. And just the booking has been so horrible with Rousey, Lashley, the Authors of Pain and Insanity aren't even on TV. Like, it's just, it's bad. It's just bad. Then we got the WWE Championship match, which is the one match I'm looking forward to. I don't know how they're gonna finish this, but AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Hopefully they just let them go like New Japan style, where it's like super strong style, because that's the only way it's really gonna build up to or be able to have somebody down for the count. You know what I mean? Like So we'll have to see how it goes. I don't care either way who I think win. I think AJ Styles is gonna keep it. Actually, I think Shinsuke is gonna win this one. He's gonna do something super crazy, like just to show that he wants to win, or whatever. And so it's like something super crazy is gonna happen. I think Shinsuke is gonna win. And then it'll just like he'll go super strong style just to build up that, to make it more legitimate, and then he'll get the belt, and then they can feud with they can keep this feud going to SummerSlam and stuff like that. So like I said, give me Shinsuke in this one. Then the women's Money in the Bank match. So it's Lana, Natalya, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte, Ember Moon, Becky Lynch, Naomi, and Sasha Banks. I don't know who's gonna. I really don't know who's gonna win it. I don't know. I think they're gonna give it to somebody on SmackDown. But the thing is, so with this, I think that they obviously want to split the briefcases up. They're gonna want to split the briefcases up so it's gonna be, so at least one of the briefcases is on each show. I think that they're gonna give the briefcase to someone on SmackDown on the men's side of things. I think they give it either The Miz or Samoa Joe. My money's on The Miz. I think they're gonna give it to The Miz or Samoa Joe on the men's side, which means they have to give it to somebody on Raw, on SmackDown, or on Raw for the women's side. Now, I don't know who they would give it to between Natalya, Alexa Bliss, who was just the champion, or Sasha Banks, who's already over no matter what. She doesn't need the belt. She doesn't need it. Alexa doesn't need it. Ember Moon could use it, but I think it's too early to give it to her right away. So, like, my only that only leaves it as Natalya, which is odd because, and then there's the rumor that Natalya is going to have that feud with Ronda Rousey, and then she's going to turn on her and then do a heel run to build up Ronda Rousey as this huge baby face. So like I said, that's my guess. I'm just guessing just based off of that logic, which is not very good logic as at all. I'm going with Natalya somehow, even though it also goes against the trope that whoever wins that big match on the go-home show usually doesn't win. And Natalya got the clean tap-out victory over Alexa Bliss in that Fatal 5-Way match on Raw on Monday. So it's up in the air. I like I said, I think that, like I said, my money is really on The Miz or Samoa Joe. So I really think that one of those guys is gonna get it. I don't think that they would give it. So I'm transitioning already over to the men's things. I don't think they would give it to Bobby Roode or Braun Strowman. If they were to give it to somebody on Raw, I think they would give it to Kevin Owens. But like I said, this the most sense to me at least makes, or it is if it's The Miz or Samoa Joe. I still don't know which of the men, or which of the, for the men's side of things, I don't know which member of the New Day is going to be in it. Everyone's saying that it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be Big E, and he's supposed to get this huge singles push, but I still don't know. I don't know what's going on. I really have no expectations going into this just because Raw and SmackDown have been so bad in the last month or so. I just want to see a good match. I just want to see some ladders get thrown, people get tossed through ladders, off ladders, and stuff like that. So I'm just excited that Money in the Bank's finally here, and we can end this drought of really, hopefully end this drought of really bad wrestling and poorly booked feuds. So I guess give me The Miz or Samoa Joe for the men's Money in the Bank. I guess Natalya for the women's Money in the Bank. Like I said, some kind of shenanigans for the women's championship match. So Nia keeps the belt. Asuka, please let me get Asuka Oregon shenanigans so that for whatever reason Carmella keeps it. Don't care about Roman Reigns and Jinder Mahal. Probably going to be the Bludgeon Brothers keeping the belt. Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn. Bobby Lashley very easily. Like I said, Seth Rollins and Elias in the battle of the beards and the very wet black hair and the hairy chests. Seth Rollins, and then Daniel Bryan. Please, 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 Daniel Bryan. So, it's it's all I'm gonna say for the wrestling fans out there who are tuning into Money in the Bank. It's in Chicago. There are a lot of other like matches that people don't care about, like the Daniel Bryan, the Bobby Lashley, the Bludgeon Brothers, the Jinder Mahal and Roman Reigns match. And so don't be surprised if there are a lot of CM Punk chants, especially during the Roman Reigns Jinder Mahal match. That's all I'll say about that. Like I said, I just hope for a good pay-per-view. Please use me a good pay-per-view. Moving on to other sports news, the World Cup has kicked off. I myself am not a huge soccer fan, but I will, any chance I get to watch live sports, I will watch it. I got the World Cup on my TV as we speak. I don't really have a dog in the fight in this one, whether it's, I know Portugal is popular because Ronaldo, Spain's really is popular, Brazil's popular, but I'm pulling for Nigeria strictly on the basis of they got the most fire kits out of any team out there. So that's who I'm going for. I really don't know if they're gonna I don't know how well they're scheduled to do or anything, but like I said, they got the most fire kits, so I'm pulling for Nigeria. So World Cup's going on. Like I said, it's if there was no World Cup, this would be a really, really, really long summer as far as sports go. So shout out to the World Cup. Oh, and then also, end of the summer, September 15th is happening. Triple G, Canelo. Not at Dodger Stadium like it was supposed to be planned, but in Vegas, but still, the big fight that everyone was hoping for. So shout out to them for getting it done. They're going to start wrapping things up here with the other news. The XXL freshman class was announced for 2018. Like I said, I don't personally. I think the XXL list freshman class for a while had its importance because that's how you found out about new people. Like I said, it had its importance. Like I said, because, that's how you found out about new up and coming people who were creating a buzz. However, it's 2018 now, and for the last few years that XXL has done the freshman class, they've been about a year or two late as far as who they think is popping. It's because so the list this year is Ski Mask, who's fire, Lil Pump, who's Lil Pump, Smoke Perp, JID, Stefflon Don, Blockboy JB, YBN, Amir, who's fire, Wi-Fi's Funeral Fire, and Trippie Redd, and all these guys and girl have had music out, good music out, and they've had a following for the last 2 years. Ski Mask has been popping since 2016. Easily, all through he had a really good 2017. Lil Pump had a huge 2017. Trippie Redd had a huge 2016, 2017 as well. Wi-Fi's Funeral has been underground popping for the last 2 years. YBN, Amir, same thing. Blowing up. Blockboy JB, he's a guy who had a big year this year. But these guys have all been popping for a little while. And like I said, it just feels kind of old and dated. And like I said, I understand its significance. The XXL freshman list and freshman class is kind of it's just like the Oscars or the Emmys or the Grammys or whatever, where it's it doesn't mean everything, but it does have a little bit of weight. It just shows that you've kind of arrived, I guess. But like I said, as far as what its original plan to do was shine spotlight on, hey, here's who you should be listening to now because they're up and coming next. We already know these guys are popping. Everyone knows Lil Pump is popping. Everyone knows Trippie Redd is popping. Everyone knows Smoke Perp, YBN, Amir, Smoke, Ski Mask, all these guys. Everyone knows these guys are popping. And then they've been known. That's the thing, is we've already been known. But they're announced. It's out. Like I said, so shouts to all those guys and girl for getting it popping. What else do I have? Oh, Comcast. So Comcast is getting in the middle of the Disney and Fox merger. For those of you who aren't aware, Disney and Fox over the last couple months or so have been working on a deal for Disney to acquire a lot of the intellectual property that Fox owns. A lot of mainly the main reason that people are thinking why they're doing this is for all the Marvel property that Fox owns, mainly the X-Men, so they can start continuing to build up on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And so they want to get all that, but there's also a lot of the live sports stuff. That's why you've seen that's why A-Rod is now on ESPN. Or you've seen a lot more like bigger, like I said, and ESPN is going to acquire a lot of their live TV rights. That's why they already got the UFC. So there's a lot of stuff going on right there. And so Disney and Fox have been working on this deal. And this week, Comcast, the other big provider, got in the middle of this, and they made an offer to Fox to buy the property and stuff. Super random. It seems to me like this is a poker style bluff on the part of Comcast in order just to, kind of force Disney to make a bigger play and have to, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a poker thing where it's like you have to call their bluff and then put in more money to it or something like that. Who knows? It's like, okay, the best thing I can compare it to is a basketball reference. When Jerry West was with the Warriors, during his time with the Warriors, he made an offer to, or it was the first time DeAndre Jordan got his contract, or his contract extension. DeAndre Jordan was in talks with the Clippers. He was going to get a certain deal. The Warriors found out what that deal was going to be. They made him a bigger offer. But Jerry West, who learned under the tutelage of Dr. Jerry Buss, R.I.P. Dr. Jerry Buss was a very, very, very good poker player, and he used the poker strategies when doing business. So Jerry West, having learned under Jerry Buss, made an offer to DeAndre Jordan that was bigger than the one that the Clippers made. Not because he wanted DeAndre Jordan on his team, but he knew that the Clippers really wanted DeAndre Jordan, so they had to make a bigger offer, so that way they would get tied up more in this. So they would have to spend more money. They would have less money going forward on the cap. You kind of see how it all plays out. Eventually, DeAndre Jordan resigned for like an extra $15 million more or something like that than he originally was going to sign for. But like I said, it's because the Jerry Buss or Jerry West was trying to force the Clippers' hand, because it's like, listen, if you don't get him, we will, and we know how much you want him, so pay up. So they did, and the rest is history. So this is what it seems like to me. Like I said, it's just more like a poker play from Comcast. Disney's gonna have to call the bluff because they know how important this IP is, and like I said, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Comcast, shouts to you guys. And yeah, wrapping it up here. Speaking of Disney, Incredibles 2 comes out today. So go ahead and give Disney some more of your money. Go ahead and watch it. I've heard it's great. So like I said, go check it out. New Music Friday. Wrapping this thing up here, winding down. New music, obviously the big one coming out today was Nas. Nas' new album, Nasir. Trouble finding it. Not going to lie, couldn't find it on Apple. Couldn't find it on Spotify. Trouble finding it. So, like I said, hopefully they can get that resolved so we can all listen to it. We've all heard snippets from the listening parties in Queensbridge. Queensbridge, baby, you already know. So, we'll have to see how that goes. J-Rock's new album, Redemption, came out. Chromeo's new album came out, Head Over Heels. Jacquees put a new album out. Mike Shinoda put a new album out. You already know I'm about to listen to that. It's called Post Traumatic. I'm sure we all kind of know why, with the horrible passing of Chester Bennington from Linkin Park. So like I said, I'm ready for all the feels that this album might bring. So yeah, shout out to Mike Shinoda. The Uncle Drew soundtrack came out. The movie doesn't look that good. It knows what it is, which is cool. From what I understand about it, it knows what it is. Hopefully, like I said, I'm still probably gonna see it. Maybe maybe have a little extracurriculars. you know what I mean, going on, and then go see it just to make it a little bit more fun. But like I said, the soundtrack's out. It's loaded with a bunch of people. You know, ASAP Ferg, 2 Chainz, French Montana, Yo Gotti, YBN Amir. Who else is on here? I think ASAP Rocky, Gucci Mane. Like I said, 2 Chainz. I said 2 Chainz already. Dipset's on there too. What? Dipset's on there. Sick. Khalid, Wiz Khalifa, Kid. Like I said, there's a whole bunch of people on it. So like I said, just check it out. It should be cool. At least the soundtrack will be cool. And then some singles. Speaking of 2 Chainz, the new 2 Chainz song "Bigger Than You" with Quavo and Drake. Then that song Nicki with Nicki Minaj, Ariana Grande. I think it's called "Bed." That one's pretty cool too. I can't lie. And speaking of Ariana Grande, crazy shit with her and Pete Davidson. Especially considering both of them respectively got out of relationships relatively soon or relatively recently. So it leads you to want to do some, maybe, they were dabbling while they were still dating. Who knows? But listen, love is love, man. Who knows how love works in mysterious ways. But I will say, for those of you who are listening that know, I did call this shit. One of my friends who, we follow this stuff a lot. Like I said, hey man, I think that Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande are dating, and he's like, what? And I was like, I showed him like this stuff, like literally, like they comment on each other's pictures all the time. They be leaving like smileys and weird emojis and shit on each other's stuff. And then when the big giveaway was, he brought her backstage to the Comedy Store, or there's a picture of the Comedy Store that she was there, and it's kind of like, how random is that? And it was because Pete Davidson was there, and yada yada. So, some great investigative journalism by the Brown Mamba. I gotta pat myself on the back for that one. But yeah, that's about it for the week. Nothing too crazy happened. Like I said, hopefully you guys all enjoy your weekend. And like always, thank you guys for listening. And girls, thank you for listening. If you like what you heard, make sure you subscribe on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, TuneIn, wherever you find your podcast or whatever, listen to it. I'm trying to get on Spotify. Trust me. And I'm also going to start curating some I love and hate that word. I'm starting curating some Spotify playlists. So look up Brown Mamba Radio on Spotify. For some of like monthly playlists I'll be putting out with just the songs that I've been really vibing to. So check that out. If you want to follow along on my journey, or if you just want to say what's up, you know what I mean, ladies, you want to say what's up. Or you just want to yell at me. Maybe you're a dude out there who, doesn't think that the Lakers are going to get Kawhi, LeBron, and Paul George. You think I'm a fucking idiot for that. Or you just think I'm an idiot for for some of the stuff that I say. You can follow along and yell at me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr. Look it up. I'm always there. It's Brown Mamba Radio, or my personal stuff, JXCKSXNNN. And like always, everything is on the blog. Shout out to the blog boys. Everything's out on the blog or the website, whatever you want to call it. brownmamba.us. Like I said, so hopefully you guys all enjoy your weekend. Everybody going to Smoking Grooves. I wish I was going with you. I had to make a choice. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff going on this year or this summer. And not a lot of us are made out of money. I had to make a choice between going to Smoking Grooves this weekend or going to Arroyo Seco weekend next weekend. And I gotta go see. I gotta see the Neil Young. I gotta see the Specials. I gotta see. I gotta see them next weekend. So I had to make a choice. So everybody going to Smoking Grooves weekend. Have fun. Be safe. You know what I mean? Smoke one up for me one time. And for everybody going to Dodgers, go Dodgers. Please don't be stupid. For all the Dodger fans out there, Dodgers, Giants, we all know the history between them. Please don't be stupid. Be safe. At the end of the day, it's just a game. So be safe, all the Dodger fans and Giant fans as well. Even though we hate you, please be safe. And then if whatever else you're doing this weekend, have fun, be safe, be responsible. Sunday, see you guys at the Stone's Throw pool party at the Line Hotel. They're officially starting up this weekend, so see you guys there. And that's it for me. Like I said, don't just have a good weekend, make it a good weekend. Drink more water. Health is wealth. And like always, please be kind to each other. It is easy to be nice. And be kind to this planet. Stop using plastic straws and shit like that. Stop littering. save the bees, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.